Welcome to the second in our series of AFUND video interviews for successful investors. We're here going to be presenting 3 gold companies that we think may be appropriate for many portfolios. We ask 4 questions, and I think by the end of these 4 questions, you'll have a good sense whether or not you want to invest or even track these companies. I know I have 20 or 30 every day companies sending me information. I don't have time to look at it. These are pre-selected companies. Most of them are certainly in the winning quartile. Not all of them are necessarily appropriate for you, but all of them have something that we think are worth following. And the 3 companies we'll be covering are Blue Lagoon, Vista Gold, and Stakeholder Gold. Usual disclaimers. Obviously, you have to do your own due diligence. I'm basically a cosmic value investor, and what that means is I like to buy undervalued stocks, hold them until they're too overvalued, and then deal with it appropriately. That's very different from trading. One can trade long or short, but we're looking at companies here that are potentially long-term investments. And there are 3 basic points. The first is I like to buy metals wholesale and not retail. What do I mean by that? I don't want to spend $4,000 for gold when I can buy it at $1,500. And I don't want to spend $40 or $50 for silver when I can buy it for $15 or $20. Again, this is very different than trading. One can trade long or short commodities. We're talking about long-term investments. And the second point we want to make is that long-term investors should not invest in any stock that does not support very favorable economics at $3,000 gold and $30 silver. Of course, if we go higher and have $5,000 gold and $100 silver, naturally these results will be even more spectacular. The first company we're going to be presenting is a no-brainer. We were presented with the story. We liked it right away. And why did we like it? Number 1, it has cash flow. Number 2, it will be profitable in 2026. And number 3, there's plenty of blue sky potential. Right. Okay, I'd like to introduce you to a very interesting story that we recently came across, which is Blue Lagoon, and I think you're going to find this one very exciting and very profitable. So could you tell us briefly what this company does? And
Sure. We're a mining exploration company in located in northern British Columbia. We have a high-grade gold project known as Doe Mountain, and the most exciting thing is that we've actually switched over from exploration to development to actually production. We actually started producing just a few days ago, and the trucks actually started rolling to take our ore to the mill just a few days ago.
Excellent. Now, what are the projected 2026 milestones and catalysts? If everything goes the way you hope it goes, what can investors expect next year?
I think 2 key milestones. I think the first one is going to be cash flow. As I mentioned, we just started producing just a few days ago. So the cash, as it starts coming in, I think is going to be very important. Investors are going to want to see a steady cash flow, and I think which they'll start as soon as next month, as soon as January. They'll see that. So I think that's going to be a very important milestone for us to achieve, because we expect to do 30 million plus of free cash flow this coming year. Remember, we're a high-grade system, 9 grams a ton, and at these gold prices, that's tremendous. And the second milestone is drilling. We're going to start. We had done 50,000 meters of drilling in the past, so we're going to follow up with that. And at the end of early Q2, we're going to start drilling. We have a very, very large prospective area. So as the drills start turning, I think that's going to be an important thing that investors are going to be watching for.
Absolutely. In fact, you're almost giving us the answers to the next question, which is, with so many stocks to invest in, what are the major reasons to invest in yours? I think you've actually given it, but you can say it again if you like.
Well, I think what you're talking about is the blue sky, right? Look, there's three reasons to invest in Blue Lagoon. Number one, we have cash flow, like I said, starting next month. Number two, we have a clear path to 1 million ounces because we have 218,000 ounces right now, but we have a clear path to get to 1 million ounces of high grade. And then the third is the tremendous, we have a 22,000 hectare property. It's one of the largest in the province. That's the size, 5 times size of Manhattan. So it's a very large piece of property. The 50,000 meters of drilling that we had done in the past, we have a lot of data that supports that we need to follow up on that. We have an 18-kilometer strike length that's been untouched. We met a major at Beaver Creek 3 months ago in September, and one of the things they said to us, when I asked them, why are you meeting with us? We're so small. They said, look, we know these alkali systems very well. You are a alkali gold system that has an 18-kilometer strike length that's been untested, and you only barely touched the surface. You've only gone 200 meters below surface. So that's the blue sky that we have. A lot of drilling that has to be done on this project to follow up on the various targets that we've identified.
And one of the things is your costs are basically around $1,500 with gold at $4,000 as well. That's certainly very profitable.
Exactly.
Okay. The cheeky question is, if you were to invest in only one other company besides your own, of course, what would it be and why?
I think my favorite would be Nicola Mining. You know, it's a company that we partner with. It's where we send our material to be processed. It's a very unique company. It has a mill, but so that it generates cash flow or will generate cash flow. But also it has a couple of other projects that it's looking to not only explore further, but also to put into production and enhance its cash flow. A very interesting company for investors to take a look at.
Okay. Well, certainly yours is. You have your base case, which is very attractive, and you've got your blue sky. So for people looking for this type of company, it's certainly something they should be tracking and or investing in, without question. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Okay. I think, that was definitely... So, again, there are a lot of reasons to want to take a look at Blue Lagoon. The financial support is one of them, of course. And there's relatively low risk in this because the hard stuff's already been done. Now, let's take a look at where it is. Our thesis is always that if you have a good company, you make more money investing in it than in the physical. If we take a look at year to date, where gold was up 53%, this stock was up 325%. I think the choice is pretty obvious. If you're bullish on gold, this is something you want to definitely look at. Okay, our next company that we're taking a look at is Vista Gold, a company that we've tracked for many years. And the basic story is two things. It's Australia, and we know now with the U.S. interest in Australia, it's back on the mining map. And also, this is a company that has been doing a lot of work, and they've decided to run it more like an Australian than a Canadian company. It's definitely a very successful and, in retrospect, very obvious plan. Okay. Let's get this going. Whoop. Okay. I'd like to now introduce one of the more interesting companies that are based in Australia, and as we all know now, Australia is definitely on the mining map. Not that it hasn't been for many years, but there's a new emphasis here. So could you tell us a little bit briefly about what the company does?
Yes, good morning. Vista Gold trades on the NYSE American and the Toronto Stock Exchange under the symbol BGZ. We have 125 million shares issued and outstanding, 13.2 million in cash. We own the Mount Todd Gold Project in the Northern Territory of Australia that was recently redesigned. We announced the results of a feasibility study in July of this year, where we've implemented design changes to minimize development and operating risk, prioritize CapEx, lower CapEx, and grade over tons, and it's been redesigned as an Australian project that can be easily built and operated.
Yeah, it's definitely a very good move. Now, what are the projected 2026 milestones and catalysts? If everything goes the way you hope it's going to go, what can investors expect for the next year?
Yeah, this is going to be a very exciting year for us. I expect that we'll be making some announcements early on in the year with regards to some significant additions to our Australian team as we build corporate capability. Second, I expect that there will be an announcement with regards to execution of a joint venture or decision to advance Mount Todd on a standalone basis. And third, approval of all of the amendments to permits that we need to be able to commence construction. Those would be the big three things that I expect will be significant milestones in 2026.
Yes. Now, there are thousands of stocks to invest in. What are the major reasons to invest in yours?
Well, I mentioned that we're in Australia, one jurisdiction, lighting jurisdiction. We have permits for the project. We're amending those. We have a huge resource, over 10 million ounces, a 5 million ounce reserve. There's exploration upside. We enjoy strong community and Indigenous people support. The economics of the project are quite strong. We've used a very conservative gold price at $2,500 and have a $1.1 billion NPV5 and almost 28% IRR. At $3,300, that goes to $2.2 billion and almost 45% IRR. We have a clear path to near-term gold production, expansion potential, an experienced management team and board. I think there's a lot of things that could point to a significant benefit for our shareholders.
I agree with you. Now, what is the potential blue sky here?
You know, the blue sky is just as we go back to those significant catalysts, those milestones, as we advance toward becoming a producer. There's a great graphic on our corporate presentation that shows the upside potential as we transition from being a developer to a producer. The other, just on a more simple basis for the shareholders can easily get their heads around, the NAV of the study divided by the number of shares issued and outstanding at a $2,500 gold price is $8.40. That $3,300, still a very, very conservative gold price, that ends up being $16.80 per share, which is roughly 10 times what our share price is this morning. I think that speaks a lot to the blue sky as we make this transition, build the team, make a decision, and advance toward becoming a producer.
I would agree with you. And lastly, a little cheeky thing. If you could only invest in one other company in your space, but not yours, what would it be and why?
Yeah, this is a really cheeky thing. As
I know it is.
You know, I would say Capricorn Metals. And the reason is that Capricorn Metals is one of our peers in Australia that I have a great deal of respect for. In fact, we're trying to emulate what they've done. They produce 120 million ounces or 120,000 ounces of gold per year and have a market cap of $4 billion. That's what I would like to achieve for the Vista shareholders. 150,000 ounces of gold produced per year and a $4 billion capex, or I'm sorry, not $4 billion capex, but $4 billion market cap. If we could emulate what Capricorn has done, I think it would be a huge win for all of our shareholders.
Well, hopefully next year we'll get to see you on that, moving forward towards that. Thank you for your time. This is a company that we've been watching for many years. It's getting very close to the critical points that you want to see, and we definitely suggest putting it on your screen and when appropriate, become an investor. Thank you very much for your time. And again, we can see it's the second largest undeveloped gold project in Australia. And this is the slide he was referring to with Vista Gold having lots of capability to move up. But let's see, how did it do last year? Gold was up 53% and Vista Gold 188%. Do you understand why we want to buy wholesale and not retail? Our third choice is something different. It's Stakeholder Gold. And this is very interesting because they don't have to go outside for money. They have a very profitable business by owning quarries in Brazil, and that funds all the development. So I like this. There's no shareholder or very little shareholder dilution. So let's take a look at this story. Okay. Dun, dun. Well, I'd like to welcome you all. We have three really excellent companies that I'm sure you want to pay attention to. And the first one, Chris, will please introduce yourself, and then I have a few very important questions for you.
Thank you, Henry. So I'm Chris Burlett, CEO of Stakeholder Gold Corporation, which has quartzite in Brazil, cash flowing business, and very large exploration potential, gold and copper in the Yukon Territory, Canada. Yeah.
Excellent. Now, what are the projected 2026 milestones and catalysts? If everything goes the way you hope it goes, what can investors hope to hear about next year at this time?
Next year at this time, so we're October. So we're going to have basic news about our cash flowing business in Brazil. It's all very good. We have an exotic stone business that's expanding, providing robust cash flow, good profit margins. Effectively, we've gone from 1 to 3 quarries. So we'll be doing a lot of news on that. Probably expanding 2 more quarries next year. Very profitable business, allows us to constrain the issuance of shares, so we can keep our share count very tight. So we'll be doing news on that for certain. But the really big driver of value for us will be our exploration in the Yukon. We think we can have a major gold discovery and major copper discovery 2026 in the heart of the White Gold District of the Yukon Territory. 2 separate discoveries, separated by about 8 kilometers, with really significant size potential in a very hot region for gold and copper exploration today. Yeah.
Absolutely so. Now, there are thousands of stocks to invest in. So what would you say the major reasons that investors should look at yours?
Major reasons. Number one, we can control the issuance of shares. So we have this type of discovery that we're talking about. It'll re-rate the price meaningfully. And we control the issuance of shares with our cash flow business. That's the way the business has been set up, the company's set up. And so we have these robust profit margins on an exotic stone quartzite business in Brazil that allows us to control the issuance of shares. So we're less than 20 million shares outstanding today. Well, we're doing this interview. And then number two, we have very significant upside potential from exploration on both gold and copper, 2 separate discovery targets. Yeah.
Great. And that's what leads into the third one, which is the potential blue sky. What really could it be? And I know that district is very rich. So what could be there?
Okay, so the analog for the gold, it's called the Sky Gold Zone, our zone. It's over 3 kilometers long in 2 subparallel zones. And the analog is the Golden Saddle. Yesterday reported absolutely fantastic results, 50 meters of 6 grams. And why is it the analog? It's the same rock type, orthogneissic rock type, same mineralogy. We've got gold, lead, molybdenum, tellurium. Importantly, no arsenic. It's the same structure, effectively. We're 30 kilometers away, but the difference there is size. The Golden Saddle is over 650 meters of strike length, and we're over 3 kilometers. So it's a district where you have fantastic gold deposits. Casino's 18 million ounces. Coffee's 5 million ounces. Golden Saddle, the best of the lot for metallurgy and for grade, is getting bigger and more robust all the time. So the Sky Gold Zone could be a significant new discovery for gold, economic in the heart of the White Gold District. And the copper target, about 8 kilometers away, is also very large. We're north of Casino. That's 8 billion pounds of copper contained. And we're west of the Minto mine, which was 2% copper. It's got these characteristics. Minto suite of rocks. It's a porphyry intrusion, 2.5 kilometers long, 800 meters wide. So we're going to put maiden drill holes into these targets and be able to confirm that there's very significant value potential for both gold.
This is elephant country, is what you're saying. Could be.
Good.
And that's what investors should be taking a look at. Okay, now we have one tricky question. If you were to invest in only one other company in your space, what would it be and why? Very briefly.
I'd look at Sage Potash, Solution Mining, Utah, in the Four Corners area. Can mine, the U.S. imports 8 million pounds of 8 million tons a year of potash from Canada, more than 95% of their requirements. And this has a multi-billion ton resource and can be produced economically with solution mining technologies because of the advances in directional drilling. Some of the advantages of the heat and the purity of that deposit. SAGE, yeah.
Okay, well, I see you like big stuff, and I think our investors should be definitely watching this. You made a very impressive presentation for us in New York, which is why we invited you to do this, and it's something we're going to be looking at and following. And I hope the audience does the same. Okay.
Thank you, Andrew.
Perfect. Thank you, Chris. If we look at the chart again, the comparables are very exciting. This has a lot of blue sky. So, interesting enough, the stock is a little bit down, and actually that's why we like it. This is a very early exploration play, very different than the other ones, with tremendous upside. So depending on when you want to buy, this is something that could be already appropriate. So, our approach, in general, is there going to be big physical and economic challenges in the first half of the year, of next year. You should have the ability to buy if and when markets panic. And again, good stock picking and trading will and can outperform index funds. Most markets are targeting November 2026. You should be as well. The only question is, what do you do if you're currently invested? We have two views. If you're very heavily invested, you may want to be taking some profits now or stopping them. If you're not invested at all in the gold and silver space, we recommend starting to do so. Right now, gold could go either way. It could go to 5,000 or 3,000. People believe if it goes to 3,000, it's going to 5,000. These will certainly be very profitable companies next year. The question is, what's the right time? One can always step in. And if you have a tremendous amount of profit, lock in. Again, watch the companies and other companies as well. And be cat-like, be ready to pounce when the time is right. This is the second in the series. We have our year-end coming up in December 21st, our forecast of next year. We're doing a special on technical, fundamental, and astrological views. Plus, we're going to be doing a series of interviews with 3 companies that we think have value, not only in the gold space, but technology, critical metals as well. So your feedback is welcome, and I hope you've enjoyed your time and found it valuable.